Hi, this is Dr. Liz, psychologist at the CU Anschutz Health and Wellness Center Wellness Clinic, bringing you another Mindful Monday video. This is the fourth one that we've done, and if you've been following along, we have worked with letting things settle, inviting feelings to the guest house, and our first video, which was really just a way to experience some mindfulness through using our senses. And today, we touched a little bit about on difficult feelings when we talked about inviting all feelings into your guest house. But today, I'd like to give you a little more experience with what to do when difficult feelings come. And we've all had a lot of difficult feelings coming this week. Some of us have experienced more difficulty as time is going on with our pandemic and our isolation. Some of us are feeling more and more isolated, more and more fear is coming for a lot of us. And when we have either a real or perceived threat, and a lot of us have a real threat right now, some of us have some big threats that we're worried might happen, that can activate something called the fight, flight, or freeze response, which I'm guessing a lot of you have heard of. And when we have that perceived threat and we activate that fight, flight, or freeze response, it activates a lot of different chemicals in our body, like cortisol, adrenaline, that can make us feel really keyed up, make our heart beat faster, make our stomach churn, make our mouth feel dry, make us very tense so that we can prepare to fight. Sometimes we also freeze, and that's a different response when we're feeling threatened so that we're safe. But when we have those responses and they're very physiological, it's difficult for us to think very clearly to help us calm down sometimes. And many times we will be self-critical and we'll even be harder on ourselves for having those very natural feelings. So one way that some research has shown that we can work with these difficult feelings and work with that fight, flight, or freeze response is to begin extending ourselves some compassion. And that's a lot easier said than done, because when we think about how we talk to ourselves versus how we might talk to a friend if they're feeling something really difficult, we are a lot harder on ourselves. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along with our next videos. But today I wanted to give you a really easy way to begin to evoke that self-compassion. And because it is a physiological response, we're going to try something that is a physical touch, just to help you trigger that compassion. And it may seem a little touchy-feely at first, because it is, but research actually shows that physical soothing touch can activate a self-compassion response that can actually lower that cortisol, can help us release some tension, expand our breathing, and begin to comfort ourselves. So we'll begin just by sitting wherever you are. If you're in a chair, just beginning to notice your feet on the floor, soles of the feet grounding with the earth. Begin to notice the seat beneath you, being supported by the back of your chair. If you're sitting on a cushion, feeling your head elongate, much like a string, pulling your head away from your shoulders. If you're standing, maybe turn your palms outwards so that you can open more. And just sit for a moment. Begin to notice the breath. And you can do this with your eyes open or closed. I encourage you to close your eyes so that you can really notice and tune into the physical sensations of soothing touch. So first, what we're going to do is try just placing a hand over the heart. Just being aware of what that feels like. Just noticing, see what that's like for you. And physical touch is different for everyone, so just be aware of how each movement feels. Now try putting another hand over that first hand. See if that pressure with two hands over your heart. Notice how that feels. Is it comforting? Is it soothing? Do you feel a little more secure? Now try cupping, first making a fist over your heart, and then cup your hand over that fist. And just notice that pressure. See how that feels. See if there's any difference between that and the other two movements. For some people, a more soothing touch is touching your belly. So try putting one hand over your heart and one on your belly. Just notice what that feels like. Maybe try 2 hands on your belly. And if that feels not so great, try a hand on the cheek. Try 2 hands on your cheek. Just again, these are going to activate different feelings for each of us. Try maybe stroking your arms. See how that feels for you. Maybe extending yourself a nice gentle hug. Just noticing what that feels like, seeing if that creates any soothing, calming feelings for you. Releasing that, trying perhaps holding one hand in the other as if you would hold someone else's hand gently. And just noticing how that feels. And then finally, just trying your hands in your lap, just cupping your hands, letting them rest one within the other, and just noticing how that feels for you. And if there's any other movement that you would like to try, just take a moment and do so. See what else feels soothing, comforting, perhaps something that you remember from long ago, perhaps something that feels good for you now. And just sit with that for a moment. And when you're ready, bring back that soothing, caring feeling with you and noticing that you're giving yourself soothing touch and lowering that stress response. And open your eyes when you're ready. And next week, we'll use the soothing touch to try a self-compassion break to give yourself some more compassion and caring during difficult times. Thanks for being with me. Be well.